Yo, peace. Rahu back. Hotel. Hey, I tell you, Washita Ish. Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings. Peace to everybody in whatever language I can put it to, but all the brothers and sisters of this earth. This planet we call Earth, which is the third planet from the sun. That's the name of it. But anyways, hey, peace. I got to respond to this, and I made a couple responses to a few other videos, but never nobody, as far as personal rebuttal to. Yo, Raheem, bruh, I respect you, even, the name you got, but you are totally off in criticizing this brother Albert, Lord Albert, as it appears. And I wrote down quite a bit of stuff, and I know I missed a lot of stuff, the points that you were talking about you was totally wrong about, but my thing is to, host this rebuttal, to bruh, it's all about each one teach one. It's a shame though, man, and I'm gonna touch on this before I get started, because I'm gonna do a lot of rebuttals, and I figured out this is probably my niche, what I need to do. I'm tired of people always criticizing brothers that are trying to do something that's positive for the people. It's ridiculous whether, you want to believe one certain aspect of certain information as to what somebody else could believe another certain aspect to it. For you to criticize anybody that's trying to get people out of this madness, bruh, stop it. Not just you, Raheem, but any of these other brothers and sisters out there that are doing this. You got to understand that as a people, man, the darker skinned races of the people been I don't need to tell you, but demoralized, dehumanized, desensitized, every way, dividing. And it's not about who's right or who's wrong. If you look back in his story, you'll see that they are the original people dividing amongst this planet is the reason why these Europeans are in control now. So stop it. Ignorance. Stop it. Stop criticizing that brother if they say something you don't believe or whatever. So what, on one aspect, the 5% believe that, the woman is very secondary but very necessary. Let them brothers have that. Let's talk about the other things that y'all build on that's positive, that y'all can agree a way out of this scenario, which don't include violence. Because that's the whole point. If you revolt against these people that are in charge in a violent manner, it's going to look as if, it's the barbarian, beast-like mentality of what needs to happen. And that ain't how it needs to happen. The thing is that, Lord Albert was right. It's all through law. How to get proper law established. Because when you do that on a national level, on a worldwide level, it looks like, okay, these brothers are getting together. And if they revolt against that, then that means that people are going to come and help the people. Because, see, the land has been taken over anyways. Not in the original government it was set up in the first point. So for these brothers to sit back and establish the proper form of government that's here, you have no right to say so. You want to sit there and bang on the beast? Cool. Go do that. They got these fight clubs and all these other things, for entertainment purposes, that you feel like is necessary. The thing is, what Brother Albert was trying to preach is, not the violent way. It's about law. It's about establishing the law. It's about getting back in charge like how they used to be. So brother, just listen to what the brother talk about instead of trying to debate what the brother got to say. Now, with all that being said and done, we're going to talk about a few things. I'm trying to slide it in with the next 5 minutes, but you talk about getting brothers together that's in prison, bro. The cell blocks, and how if we had 2,000 people, they won't allow to have at least 2,000 people in one cell block. That it'll be a wrap. It'll be over. They'll take over. Okay, that's you talk about supposition. That ain't gonna happen. So you talk about things that's not happening while criticizing a brother that's doing something that's making it happen. Don't understand. You know, you want to be institutionalized. You know, that's part of the brainwashing program that the European has established. So first, you got to break out of that mental cell that's got you trapped. You know, it's confined you to a point of thinking that it's, you know, okay, we're gonna go take it back the violent way. Nah, bruh, it ain't about that. Look through history in the Popol Vuh, it'll tell you, you know, we're on another cycle because people keep getting it wrong. It's, you know, we go into the history of how the Europeans got in power and all that, but that'd be a mute point right now. It's too much, you know, left over for debate. But I want to get back to this. You say, bro, there's no fezzes. You know, I don't think you've done enough research. There are hieroglyphs that had, you know, brothers with fezzes on there. And there wasn't no European or no any brown, you know, lighter brown skinned people. These were the original people that wore these fezzes. Do the research. Go to Morris Brooklyn 360. Check out his site. A lot of brothers out there that got those videos and those pictures that'll show you these people with fezzes. Matter of fact, Easter Island, I think it is, it's got the brothers with fezzes. So, and on another level, on another tip, it's like this. You said the economy, people letting the economy slip, but you know that's by their design. They want to have it slip. You know, calling them dumb. No, they know it's their time. They're making this as a scene to get out. They you know stolen from the land for so long, and you know they know it's their time to go. So they're trying to tuck tail and run. But you know that's on a whole nother tip. So don't think they dumb. You know, I ain't giving them much props either. But then all that was by intent. You say ABBA's dividing the people by telling them not to go fight and kill one another. Well, let's think about it like this. You know, the people are not being led to slaughter like you would want them to be, and Brother ABBA trying to keep that from happening. See, and I heard, and I didn't do no research on, but the United States Army is 95% Moorish, or as you probably know, you know, misnomer black. Think about it. Damn, you want to, you know, if you're going to fight the United States, not America, like you kept saying Americans. No, it ain't about Americans. It's about the United Statesmen. Because if you got a Social Security card and you got filling out contracts daily with, you know, voter registration card, which doesn't do you no good to vote, you know, all these little things put you in the contract, you're a United Statesman in the land of America or Americush. You know, just your knowledge, bro, is very limited. So you know, I'm not trying to down you. If at all in actuality, you need to get on what Lord ABBA is on, because the brother is real deep and got some information. But a lot of you know, brothers don't want to hear that. You're thinking it's about violence, trying to kill, you know, the European or cause more stress or more problems upon them by, they don't want no war. Yes, they do want a war, because that's where they get rich off of us and lowers the population. They want us to fight against each other. They want us to divide against one another. You know, so yeah, you talk about mute points, which if we go to war, yeah, they're gonna win in the long run. You know, it's not about that. It's about the battle, the courtroom, by getting these people off of our court, getting our court back established. So, you know, that being easy said or done, bam. And you talk about, okay, we need to unite Africans. You know, okay, unite the African brothers. That's true. But, you know, Africa is a corporation. What you need to be saying is unite the Akiba-line warriors. Another misnomer. Do your research, bruh. You know, thing about it is, you know, you talk about 2 million galaxies and this and that. You talk about something that's on another level. Well, bruh, I mean, stick to what you're talking about. These Moors out here are doing the work that needs to be done. Don't sit there and criticize this, brother. See what they're talking about and understand that, you know, the message they're trying to bring to you, instead of you sitting there thinking that it's about dividing. You look in hieroglyphs, do the research. Yeah, there was violence among her, but there was no real barbarianism until the European came into existence. And all it's done is just divided the people with their mental thinking it's all about being a violent people, when they were the real violent people that initially came along in mid strife of this life. Get the knowledge, know thyself. Stop criticizing these brothers and do your own.